It's critical to our ability to meet the ever-changing needs of the community. You know, over the past 5 or 6 years, the number of requests for medical calls has gone up over 20%, while the need for fire suppression has continued to go down, thankfully, because of better building construction, more smoke detectors, public education, things like that. So the merger or integration of these two divisions would allow us to form an all-hazard response division. Will allow us to increase the level of advanced life support that we can provide to the community. You know, in many of their medical emergencies, response time really does make a difference in someone being able to live a full, complete, vital life versus maybe having some residual effects from things like strokes and heart attacks. So the quicker that we can get advanced life support to our citizens, the better off we're going to be.
Now, is it true too that now you all are looking at, well, the city in a sense looking at firefighters, they want them to be paramedics at this point coming into the city because that will eventually help this merger?
That's correct. We've got a process identified where current Division of EMS employees, if they want, can cross-train as a firefighter, so they would become a firefighter paramedic, and then existing Division of Fire firefighters would cross-train as paramedics. That way, whether you're on an ambulance or on a fire engine, you would still be able to provide fire suppression, rescue, as well as advanced life support. Any new employee coming into the Division of Fire or EMS will be a requirement for them to become state-certified firefighters, emergency medical technicians, and paramedics within their first 5 years of employment. That way, over time, we'll have an army of paramedic firefighters out there that'll be able to meet the needs of the community.
Okay. Now, talk about this process. I know that the city will review now because of since they rejected the merger, obviously, that they're going to review all options possible to meet the goal of the merger. What are some things that they're going to be looking at? Can you give us a time frame of how the process will work?
Well, we've actually been negotiating with Local 93 for the past 2 years. We've spent hundreds of hours meeting with their negotiating team, the union leadership, and frankly, I was shocked by the outcome of this vote because I felt really comfortable that after spending all of that time, we had a good, solid plan in place that I really thought that the firefighters union would embrace. Unfortunately, they didn't. And so at this point, we're looking at things that we can do unilaterally without the union's agreement to implement that will help us with our efficiency and effectiveness in being able to meet the medical needs of the community. We're also reviewing what our legal options are in terms of this rejection and if there are some other avenues that we could go to make this integration happen. At the end of the day, the Jackson administration is going to do the right thing in terms of making sure that we've got the right resources out there to meet the needs of the community.
Last but not least, will this mean any changes in the number of jobs or?
No, and that was, I think, one of the things that in terms of the integration to all of the unions that were affected, this isn't about job elimination. It's not about shrinking the workforce. This is really, our bottom line as a government is to provide service. And this integration plan allowed us to increase the level of service that we provided to the community at the same cost that we're spending today for both divisions of Fire and EMS. So there's no additional cost to the taxpayers. There's no loss of jobs as it relates to the unions involved. We believe it's a win-win for everybody. We just need to find a way to get everybody to come to the table and see that this really is the right thing to do.